Hi there, this is Jen Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service in Missoula, and I have your winter planning briefing recorded on Sunday, February 19th. We're going to get right into it as we've got a lot to talk about today. The main impact period that we're really going to be focused in on is Tuesday into Wednesday, as we have a strong Arctic front that's going to pass through the region and bring winter-like weather once again to all of western Montana and north central Idaho. There's a few other key points that we'll focus on as we go, but really that's the main time frame that we really want to highlight here for the greatest impact across the region. Now, stepping through, there's kind of two phases to this system. The first phase is tonight through Monday night. And in this initial phase, we have high pressure that's sitting off of the west coast and directing northwest flow into us here in western Montana and north central Idaho. And you'll see with these blue and green colors, that's a highly anomalous moisture that's coming up from the subtropics and is pushing into our region here. And that's going to bring, during this first phase, very heavy snow in the mountains. We're talking 2 to 3 feet along the Continental Divide and the Rattlesnake Mission ranges and the terrain along the Idaho-western Montana border. That's going to be leading to challenging travel over Lolo, Lookout, and Marias passes. In particular, that's where the heaviest snow looks like it'll be focused. Other passes will also see snow, don't get me wrong, but that's where we are expecting the heaviest snow. There's also going to be some breezy west to southwest winds that could lead to some blowing snow, especially in the backcountry. And then just to highlight for these passes in particular, the heaviest snowfall rates are expected Monday evening into Monday night. So that's where travel may become particularly difficult. Now, as far as the valleys go, it's a little more difficult to pinpoint because we're going to have a surge of some warm air that's coming in, especially by Monday afternoon into the overnight hours Monday night. So we're going to see kind of mixed precipitation in the valleys. It's going to vary quite a bit across the region, especially across western Montana. For the most part, valleys can expect to see some light snow into Monday morning and then transitioning over to mainly rainfall by Monday afternoon. The one exception will be for the Seeley, Swan, and West Glacier valleys, those valleys right along the Continental Divide, where it likely will mostly stay snow until Monday afternoon, and thus those areas will see some significant snowfall accumulations. As far as valley impacts go, other than those isolated valleys where it will continue to be snowfall, we could see some icy spots develop tonight into Monday morning before that warm air really establishes itself. So that's just a few things to look out for in this tonight through Monday night period. Now, as I mentioned, the main impact period really comes in Monday night into Wednesday morning. And so just to start things off, I'm comparing and contrasting snowfall amounts here for that Monday evening through Wednesday morning time frame. The graphic on the left is showing the low end amounts. So there's at least a 90% probability for this much snow to fall in the time frame listed above. So for a lot of valleys like Missoula, we're looking at least 2 inches, Kalispell at least 3 inches, whereas I'll point out for the terrain such as Lookout Pass, we're talking 90% probability of at least 16 inches of snowfall in this time frame. Now, as we go over to the graphic on the right, this would be kind of like your high end or your worst case snowfall amount. There's only about a 10% chance of seeing this amount of snow or greater that could fall in that same time frame. So the high end for Missoula would be about 5 inches, for Kalispell about 9 inches, and so on and so forth. Now, most of the snow that's showing up here for the valleys is really going to come in with the Arctic front that's going to quickly lower our snow levels, and that's really going to be occurring during the day Tuesday. So this slide gives you a little feel for the timing of that Arctic front. And the Arctic front's going to be coming out of Canada, so it's going to be first arriving into northwest Montana, and anywhere to the right of this orange line could expect to see that Arctic front pass Tuesday morning, so roughly between 5 a.m. and 11 a.m. Then it's going to continue to march to the south and west, so by Tuesday afternoon it's going to be approaching the I-90 corridor. And then as we get into Tuesday evening, it should be passing into north central Idaho. And by 5 a.m. Wednesday morning, we are expecting it to be all the way through all of our north central Idaho locations. Now, some of the concerns with the front. A big one is going to be snow squalls. We're really starting to see the signature that shows that we could see some pretty strong snow squalls develop along and ahead of the Arctic front. So with those snow squalls, the potential for very heavy snow with rates of 1 inch per hour, lowering visibility to a quarter mile or less, and gusty winds will be some of the main threats. Another concern as this Arctic front passes is we're going to see a rapid drop in temperatures. And with the warm air out ahead of this Arctic front, even into early Tuesday morning, we suspect and are starting to really have more of a concern that wet or slushy roads may see a flash freeze as this front passes. So this is a particular concern right now for the Kalispell area for the Tuesday morning commute. And then similarly for the I-90 corridor, including Missoula, this flash freeze is going to be a concern for the Tuesday evening commute. Another concern with the Arctic will be for winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour through those kind of favored areas that could cause some blowing and drifting snow. This is mainly a concern across northwest Montana along the Continental Divide, where we're going to have the most snowfall. We have less concern about blowing and drifting snow in the valleys due to that warm up ahead of this Arctic front. One other thing I'll emphasize is the biggest impacts with this front are expected in western Montana. By the time the front gets into north central Idaho, we kind of run out of moisture, so there won't be as much snowfall and the dynamics aren't as impressive with it to really create like the snow squalls and stuff. So really the biggest impacts are expected across western Montana and somewhat minimized through north central Idaho. So I'm going to step through some timing graphics for specific points. Feel free to fast forward through this. So this is Marias Pass, and again I want to highlight those heaviest snowfall accumulations coming in Monday evening into early Tuesday morning, and then you can also see that rapid temperature drop. Here's Kalispell, the heaviest snowfall right with the front Tuesday morning. Here's Libby, Lookout Pass. Missoula, again Missoula, we're not expecting a lot of snowfall accumulation. The bigger concern is this wet, slushy snow that's going to fall out ahead of the front with this rapid temperature drop right at the evening commute on Tuesday, which could cause some very icy roads. Here's Seeley Lake, McDonald Pass, Georgetown Lake, Butte, Lolo Pass, Grangeville. One thing I'll mention for Grangeville, we do have some concern that there could be some strong gusty winds Monday night into Tuesday morning. Right now, most of our guidance is showing gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, but there are a few isolated models showing stronger than that, so that's something we'll be keeping an eye on, is some potential for some strong winds Tuesday morning. Here's Lost Trail Pass and Salmon. Now finally, the next phase of this system after the Arctic front passes through is the lingering cold Wednesday into Thursday. We'll be talking single-digit high temperatures for western Montana and max temperatures only in the 20s for the lower valleys of north central Idaho. As this graphic here shows, there's a high probability of seeing below zero temperatures in the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning time frame. How much below zero is still kind of in question. It does look like we're going to see some cloud cover and even some light snow continuing off and on. So that will likely keep us from getting into extreme territory for the lows, but nevertheless quite cold. And we do think we'll see a slow moderation in temperatures this weekend. And then as far as snow goes, we keep moisture around Wednesday through Friday, so there's going to be potential to see light snow all the way through this time frame. Although I will admit that confidence in just how much and where the better snowfall may occur is still somewhat low. There are some stronger systems showing up that could bring potential for some bigger snowfall events as we get towards this weekend. So here's the weather threat matrix, and again, really highlighting that Tuesday and Wednesday time frame for the Arctic front and the cold. So that's all I have for today. Feel free to give us a call if you need any other answers. And otherwise, we will have our next briefing on Thursday. Thanks and have a great week.